right, let's have some fun because why not? Mike Morales, Mr. Mike Morales. I forget who recommended that I subscribe to your channel, but now I regret it and I'll probably be unsubscribing. Let's just see what this guy has to say. Oh, and by the way, I just want to highlight the title of this video is No Bird Wind Farms. Let's go.
All right, guys, it's out here. I'm kind of here in North Missouri, kind of north central Missouri, with a bunch of wind farms out here. One thing I noticed, there's no birds, not one bird, not one squirrel, no bird nest, no squirrel nest, no kind of flying animals or even ground squirrels out here. It's pretty crazy.
Okay, so you're driving at like 65 miles an hour. You're obviously in an open plain area, a lot of farmland and open area. There, you don't see any forests around here. There's only sparse trees, only a couple of trees here and there. And you're saying there's no birds. Well, you know, birds don't live out in farmland. Birds don't live in the plains. Some species like grouse and pheasants, those are ground birds. Yes, they can fly, but they spend most of the time on the ground in the grass. You won't see them. So just because you don't see birds in this open area, what does that mean exactly?
Driving this road for about 7 miles and haven't seen one bird or a bird nest, nothing.
Oh, you haven't seen a bird nest. You're driving at 65 miles an hour, and what? You got time to examine every branch on every tree? But what about these dense trees? What about these trees? Can you see a bird nest in there?
It's like there's no wildlife whatsoever out here. You know, normally you'd see birds up on the power lines, around people's yards.
Sometimes.
You can look at all these trees, there's not even a squirrel nest or nothing in
How do you
any
know?
of these trees. So that should tell you something right there. These things go on for miles and miles. And the crazy thing, there's no wind.
There's no wind?
So them things are actually producing the wind.
Wait, what? You say there's no wind. And you know that while you're driving at 70 miles an hour? 65, 70? You know that there's no wind while you're in your car doing 65 miles an hour. And what was it you just said?
They're actually producing the wind.
No. Say that again.
They're actually producing the wind.
Okay, what?
So them things are actually producing the wind.
Okay, so which is it? Is there wind or is there not wind? You're driving at 65 miles an hour. You said there's no wind, not a drop of wind. And then you say that these things are producing the wind. So are they producing wind or not? If they're producing wind, there would be wind. You just said there was no wind.
The wind's not blowing them.
So the wind's not blowing them. These things are producing the wind. And what evidence do you have of that? Because you're driving at 70 miles an hour and you don't feel any wind? Is that what you're inside your car with the windows up and you don't feel any wind?
Them things are actually pushing the wind.
I'm going to be as nice as possible. You're fucking insane.
Because there's like not a drop of wind outside at all.
There's not a drop of wind. And I know that while I'm driving down my car, driving down the road at 65, probably with the windows up, and I know for sure that there's not a drop of wind.
Nothing's moving. Now I bet if I parked out here, I could probably feel wind coming off them things.
I bet if I parked, I'm not going to bother to park and show you. I'm just going to speculate. I bet if I did this, that would... What about this tree? This is really dense. I can't even see inside of there. You know for oh, that almost looks like a bird on top right there. You can see inside that there's no nests. You know that for sure, right?
Yeah, I just found it really odd that there's no birds at all. Like nowhere. No bird nest, no squirrels.
Dude, I live in Georgia. I live literally right smack dab in the center of a forest, and we are littered with birds. I bet you I could walk outside right now and show you the sky, and there's like no birds in the sky. It happens all the time. There are moments when there are no birds, all the activity settles down, maybe they all take a nap in the middle of the day. Who knows?
And you got these people that live right by these things. You know, wonder if they're affected by the infrasound. And I mean, these things are
Affected by the what?
the infrasound, and
The infrasound?
they're affected by the infrasound. And I mean, these things
What infrasound? That's not even a word.
are massive. Anyway, just wanted to pop on and document.
I think you mean infrasound. And how is that even relevant?
Hey, there might have been a couple nests in that tree. That'd be the first
Oh, wait, did you just see some nests?
nest in that tree. That'd be the.
Oh, you saw some nests, didn't you? Something.
Just wanted to pop on and document. Hey, there might have been a couple nests in that tree. That'd be the
Oh, so there are nests in trees.
first tree I've seen with a nest in it. But still, no birds.
So
They've
what?
all either been killed by the infrasound or
The infra what?
the infrasound.
The infrasound? They've all been killed by the infrasound?
Been killed by the infrasound, or that's keeping them away, or they flew into the fan blades.
They flew into the fan blades.
Anyway, pretty freaky.
They flew into the fan blades? Let's look at those fan blades. Let's see how fast those fan blades are moving.
Whatsoever out here.
Look how fast they're moving.
Normally you'd see birds up on
They're
the
not
power
moving.
lines, around people's yards.
You think a bird couldn't avoid those fan blades? You know how agile a bird is in the air? You ever watch a bird fly through a tree? I mean, I live in Georgia. We got tons of birds. You ever see a bird fly at full speed through an entire set of tree branches and never once hit a single branch? You think they couldn't avoid a single fan blade moving at that speed?
And you can look at all these trees. There's not even a squirrel nest or nothing in any of these trees.
How do you know?
So that should tell you something right there.
It tells me you're kind of an idiot.
No birds. They've all either been killed by the infrasound, or that's keeping them away, or they flew into the fan blades. Anyway, pretty freaky. Yep. Still see nothing flying out here, except for the chemtrail planes.
I don't see those either. I mean, are you in fucking La La Land? Seriously, dude. What the actual fuck is wrong with you?
They're still flying.
Are they?
Anyway, guys, much love. See tonight, got Willie Friday finally.
And what about trees like this that are real dense? You know that when a bird nests, he's not going to nest out here with trees that are all wide open like this. Obviously, winter, the leaves are off. But what about these evergreen trees that remain dense with foliage? This is where the nests are, and you can't see inside that tree. You're a fucking idiot.